Hello, it's me, Dr. Virtual. Welcome back to my channel, guys. It's been a hiatus I've taken because of the fact of no internet. Curse this coronavirus and the no internet, and could not be due to that. It could be due to something like a fault in the mind. But it's actually back. Internet's back at last. I'll be back, it said to me one day. Now, on the subject of today's video, I want to talk about Star Wars. Can it be saved? Now, I know there's been a few videos that have actually been made on this, and a few other tips and ideas and suggestions that could actually make Star Wars great again. You know, sell it to someone else and not have Disney make the rights to it anymore. Stop focusing on the Skywalker saga, something which I pretty much agree with. Move on, it's been done. You know, things like that, and other ideas. Get rid of Kathleen Kennedy. Oh, trust me, I would actually have a field day. Literally, I would actually party up here like it's 1999. All over again. So I had an idea about, it's a long shot thing of a kind of an idea, so it's not exactly something that's got a lot of cemented ground. It was just a passing thought, so take it as such. Okay, now one of the things that I thought that what could make it good again is if the Disney trilogy was pretty much decanonized, and if episode 10, let's just say, for example, if this was ever going to happen, which it isn't, in some made-up universe of mine, it probably has done. Remember, like I said, it's a long shot, so just bear with me on it. Is if episode 7, 8 and 9 didn't exactly happen, but it was pretty much a false premonition. You know, like the kind of premonitions that Anakin Skywalker had about Padme's death and about his mother's death in episode 2, Attack of the Clones, and episode 3, The Revenge of the Sith. And what it is, these false premonitions are, or of a possible future, are from the protagonist of an interestingly well-written character, not just some lady Mary Sue that's actually just ruined Star Wars. I'm not talking about Kathleen Kennedy, I'm talking about Rey! And obviously in this alternate universe, or pretty much a premonition idea that I've had, taken in the account of the late Carrie Fisher, may she rest in peace. You know, she won't be in it and things like that, but Luke Skywalker is still alive, you know, Mark Hamill. And it pretty much would follow on, like, he's, you know, kind of what episode 7 was. He was training Jedi and things like that. But that could be done elsewhere, because, like I said, move on from the Skywalker. Even, you know, I don't want to really focus on the Skywalkers thing, because that's what these 7, 8 and 9 episodes feel like they were. They feel like they were trying to cop off the originals and trying to make something new, when in fact you can see the big similarities, huge similarities between 4, 5 and 6 and 7, 8 and 9. It's pathetic. Now, as I was saying about the Luke training Jedi, it could be from the premonition of a certain Jedi that's actually living a faraway place from where Luke is, and having his or her own journey, and they've just had these dreams about what 7, 8 and 9 was about, and you know, they finally wake up or come out of this premonition state and things like that, or a possible future that they've foreseen, and they pretty much change that, you know what I mean? Something different. All this is off the cuff, all this is just not scripted and things like that. That's the reason why I'm just flooding it out there. Another thing that will probably make Star Wars good is if you just cut all the politics out of it. Let's just get back to some science fiction, space adventure, and some well-written plot and things like that. Something that's really simple, but take out the politics, add some fun, add some good drama to it, add some real sophisticated characters with good motivations and for good reasons for being in the story itself. Can Star Wars be saved? It can, if certain measures are taking place, like getting rid of certain people. That would be a good start. Bringing the franchise back to what it used to be and trying to work off of that. That could be another start. Maybe let Disney get rid of it. Maybe, because this is known as the Disney trilogy, 7, 8 and 9, and the other boring movies that have been made around that time as well, since they've been under their control. Thanks, George Lucas. Maybe just get some good writers in who actually really care for the Star Wars lore, or the Star Wars IP, man. Someone who actually cares about pleasing the fans and offering good stories. Is that so hard to do? Not really, but I don't know why that path hasn't really been taken. Star Wars is a big universe of many untold and told stories. There's many different paths they could take. They could go about the birth of the Sith or the Jedi. They could talk about the Old Republic and things like that, or the Civil Wars and things, you know, instead of just focusing on one simple family. It's been done, okay? You can try something new. Go in untouched territory with Star Wars, you know? Don't just always focus about what's been done. Like, as much as I would love to see Knights of the Old Republic from the video game onto a movie or a TV series, which would be nice, but I would like to see something different and something new. Right? Do that territory. It'll be unexpected, and just do it right. So going back to my idea about, you know, the false premonition and of a false future, things like that. That idea was just thrown out of left field. Like I said, it was just an idea that was passing through. This is one of those maybe kind of things, because what made me think of that thought was the fact that, okay, if 7, 8 and 9, well, 7 is an okay film, okay, but 8 and 9 was just a travesty of the Star Wars name. There's been movies that have been made that's like a reboot kind of thing, or like a this never happened, but this movie exists, so we can erase that timeline and make this one, and things like that, you know. And especially with Star Wars, I'm pretty sure it could be done, but it was just a passing thought, nothing concrete, you know. It was just a passing idea, so treat it as such. Star Wars can be saved. Some of us have maybe probably thought of the ideas. Some of us have probably thought, nah, that idea is a bit silly or a bit too far-fetched, or this will never happen. But these are possibilities of what could happen. Some of us have probably thought of the ideas and probably just, nah. Some of us have probably not thought of it and probably thought, offer interesting opinions and ideas and things. So what do you think? Do you think Star Wars can be saved? Do you want it to be saved? I would love Star Wars to see it return to its former glory of what episodes 4, 5 and 6 was, and you know, I don't mind it having a few Rocky movies here and there, not Rocky as in Rocky Sylvester Stallone, but a few movies that weren't as good but they still have some substance, and that's really passable for a Star Wars story. But obviously it isn't perfect. That greatly depends on who's writing it and things like that, and how the screenplay goes and what characters are going to be on screen. If there's one thing I can't stand, is Mary Sue's. Can't stand them. I believe Star Wars can be saved. It is a possibility, but for the moment, it's just going round in a circle. The same people are just destroying it. Get rid of Kathleen Kennedy, please, and then we'll start from there. But it's not just as simple as getting rid of her. Get some people who actually care about the Star Wars lore, Star Wars stories. You know what I mean? Then maybe we may see a huge transition. Then maybe in the future, possibly if that ever happens, people will be like, yeah, where's Kathleen Kennedy now? Where's Rian Johnson now, eh? This is how you do a proper Star Wars movie, not the trashed heap that you both came up with. You know, that kind of thing could happen. And I wouldn't mind if it did. So, I don't think it's impossible.
It's